been a minute, so I wanted to talk to you about the previous time we got together, and then we'll jump into what we will do today. Kind of tough, kind of like a test at school, isn't it? So last time, if you remember, we talked a little bit about chipping, right? Around the greens. Can you tell me a little bit about chipping and what you remember from chipping?
The speed.
What's that?
The speed.
Yeah, speed is what?
The most important.
Yeah, just like putting, right? So we want to be able to control speed. So how do we control speed with chipping?
By going half.
Shorter swings, right? Half swings. So would you say that this would be a half swing?
That'd be like
Kind of a 3/4, almost full swing, right? Because I use my wrists. If I don't use my wrists, look at how much shorter I can keep that, right?
short.
Yeah, exactly. So that's the biggest thing that we talked about when we were talking about chipping, was this idea of moving the club without using our hands, without using our wrists. And you can see that I start to move my hips a little bit, I start to move my upper body, but I don't bend the wrists at all, right? And that controls the club head. If I can control the club head, then I can control the speed in which the ball is going to come flying out. Today, we're going to change it up a little bit. Today, we're going to have to use our wrists. Okay? So I'm going to switch clubs with you because I still think that you can use this club. This was the club that we used when we were chipping, but now look at what we got in front of us here. What do we call this?
Bunker.
A bunker, that's right. So we have to hit it up and over the bunker. Now, as we get stronger, we might be able to use less wrists for the shot, but for the time being, I want you to make a full swing, okay? We're going to try and hit it right at that marker, but just make a full swing for me. Oh, look at you go.
I know it.
That might even go in. Okay, good. And do that again, same thing.
30.
We're trying to figure out exactly right. We're trying to figure out how far you consistently carry the ball. Can you carry it 55 yards? Another good strike. Ooh, man.
We're going to go backwards.
Look at you go, huh? Okay, so let's think about that first shot that we hit, right? That first shot went off to the right. We kind of missed our target a little bit. The second one went right down the line, went right at our target. Why do you think that second one was so much better than the first?
Because I didn't break my wrist.
Yeah, a little, okay, good thought there. You know, one thing we haven't talked too much about because we haven't made full swings is kind of how our body works while we're swinging the club. So I'm going to make two swings here, and I want you to tell me which one looks better, okay? Here's the first one. Okay? And here's the second one. Which one's better?
First, second.
Yeah, which one's better? First or second?
Second.
Second, why?
Because you didn't break your wrist.
Okay, so yeah, a little bit of controlling the wrist. We're going to move away from the wrist, and we're going to talk a little bit about now what our body's going to do, okay? So you notice as I take it away, I hinge a little bit here, right? So there's a little break in the wrist there, and that's good because I'm making a full swing. But as I come down, look at what my chest is doing.
Staying with the club.
Yeah, staying with the club and staying down here, right? So as I rotate back, even though my chest is rotating back with the club, it's still pointed to the ground, okay? When you come up like this and now your chest is pointed out here towards this way, we're going to have a hard time hitting the ball, aren't we? So it's important to keep our chest on the ground. I want you to think about a little laser beam coming right out of here, and that laser beam points to the ground every single time we swing, okay? Keep it there the whole time you make your swing. Okay, good. Not bad, but a little up and out of it, right? And that's why it goes to the right. Make sense?
Yeah, a little.
Yeah. So if you're missing it to the right, there's a high probability that we're getting down to impact, and instead of looking like this, sternum on the ground, we're like this. Make sense? Show me a couple of practice swings where you really feel your chest staying on the ground, okay? We're not even going to try and hit the ball. Right here, remember? These buttons right here, they're going to be pointed down to the ground the whole time. Good, really good. Look at what has to happen. If my chest stays down on the ground, that swing right there, your arms went past your body. Look at what happens when I do this. Arms never quite get past my body, do they? That's another way to kind of feel this. So as I'm standing over the ball, I want to think about two things now. I want to think about my chest staying on the ground, and when I finish, my arms are going to go past my body, okay? Good. Okay, direct indicator, right? When we hit shots like that don't go up in the air, they're not hit very well, that is the immediate feedback would be what?
Topped it.
Yep, topped it, but how? How did you top it? Topping it is a result. Cause is your body. Look at where your chest is. It's pointed out here towards me. Yeah, good. We got to have it down towards the ground, right? So let's get this into a good spot here for you. Okay, it's ready. Remember, chest on the ground all the way through. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. Up into the air, going right at your target. Excellent. Okay, so anytime that you swing the club, it doesn't matter what club it is. It could be this one that we're going to hit in a little bit here. It could be that wedge, driver, everything. We're always going to have this mindset of this, right? When I get to impact, my chest is still pointed to the ground, okay? Make sense? Awesome. Let's see it again. You notice for this swing, we do kind of have to break our wrists, don't we? Because we need more speed to hit it further, right? So the further we get away from the green, we have to start using our hands a little bit. We have to start using all the muscles in our body to hit it as far as we possibly can. Okay? So we're changing it up a little bit from chipping. Remember, the only thing that you're working on when you're practicing is kind of movement, right? The kind of movement that we're trying to practice. We know you can hit the ball. I haven't seen you whiff one yet. You haven't missed. It's amazing. Now, the question is how good can you make the movement, right? Every single swing, can you keep your chest on the ground? Can you get that ball up into the air? Can you get it going towards the target? We've seen you hit every single ball. Now we have to focus on what we're trying to do with our body, keeping the chest on the ground throughout the entire swing. Totally different, isn't it? The ball goes right at the target when you have the proper fundamentals, when you have the proper movement. As soon as you start doing this and trying to lift the ball up into the air, number one, the ball doesn't go up into the air. We usually top it, right? But number two, what have we noticed? All the way over here to the right. Okay? So, now we're going to grab a different club. I'm going to go a little bit further back, okay? Change up the practicing a little bit here. We've got the full swing with the wedge. Go ahead and grab your hybrid here. Thank you. And I'm going to change your target here real quick. Okay. Man, this looks like a long ways away, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, it's 73 yards. We can see our target right out here.
Yeah.
That's a little bit longer than what we were just hitting, isn't it?
Yeah.
So now we've got to have a different club. But the same kind of thought process should be in our mind. Okay?
Okay.
In order to keep the club on the ground and to have it sweep the turf, what do we have to have our chest doing?
Stay at the bottom.
Yeah, it has to be pointed towards the ground, right? So, let's do that again. Go ahead and start like you're going to hit it. Now we have to start thinking about how we're going to move with this staying on the ground. We don't want to feel the shoulders do this, right? We want to have them twist still. There we go, okay? So as the shoulders twist, what does your arm need to do? That needs to go up, right? So our shoulders twist and arm goes up. Look at that. Sternum still pointed to the ground, right? And then from there, we reverse it. Arm drops. Sternum still stays pointed to the ground. Well, bend. Keep your posture a little bit. There you go. And then we keep rotating through. Good. Make sense?
Yes.
Look at what I do with my left arm here to make this swing. I lift it. Okay? And look at what my shoulder does. It gets over here to this foot. But my sternum is still pointed at the ground, right? My chest is still pointed towards the ground. So I'm actively turning my body and lifting my arm while everything stays pointed at the ground. That's 3 things, right? That's a lot. Can you tell me what I just said?
There's 3 things.
Yeah? What are those 3 things?
Staying the chest on the ground.
Sternum's on the ground, chest on the ground. Perfect. That is 1. What do I do with my shoulder? That rotates, right?
Yep.
Gets over here. Look at how it's kind of like it gets to the ball, right? If I'm standing here, my left shoulder rotates and gets to the ball. Okay, but look, my sternum's still pointed down to the ground, right?
Okay.
So I've got my 2 things. Now what's the final thing?
What's stay?
Yeah, that left arm going up, right?
Yeah.
So my left arm goes up as my body turns, and then my body turns and my left arm comes back down.
Okay.
All right? Lots to think about, but these are important things to think about when you're practicing, okay? This way, we actually start to practice instead of just hitting the ball. Because again, I haven't seen you miss one yet, right? We know you can hit the ball, but the question is how good can we make the swing, right? How good can we make our body move? Oh, okay, now evaluate. You topped it, right? We know that. Still hit it. Pretty cool visual, isn't it?
Yeah.
The club's moving pretty fast. So if we can connect, this ball is going to go a long way.
That could probably go before it's over.
It could be. But we've got to connect first, right? We can't hit it a long way if we hit the top part of the ball. We know that. So how do we connect? How do we make a better strike? What's that? Where's that supposed to be? On the ground, right? On the ground the entire time. Okay, good strike. Now, which way did the ball go, though? Didn't it shoot over here?
Yeah.
Okay, so what happened?
It didn't even show.
Yeah, you got to here pretty well. You rotated nicely, chest on the ground still, and then when we got back to impact, whee!
Back there.
Yeah, that's what happens. It makes it go to the right every time, right? So, we need to work on, stay right here, keep your body right here, and I'm just going to pull the club, and I want you to keep your sternum right here. Keep it pointed at the ground. See how the arms go past your body?
Yeah.
That's what I want you to feel. Before you stand up, I want you to feel that, okay? Look at my body. So I've already hit the ball. The ball's gone, but I'm still down here. And now, as I look up to find the ball, I start to stand up and I can be comfortable. Make sense?
Yes.
Okay, good. Let's see it. Yeah, good. Now I know we didn't hit it where we wanted to and we didn't get it to the target, but look at how much straighter it went. Let's look at these lines here. Look at this. Remember this other one over here? It didn't even register it, but it would have been, the line would have been way over here. Okay? These are the lines that we want to see, somewhat pointed to the target. We don't ever want to see one going off to the right because that means that we're losing posture, okay? Show me again. What happened? Oh no, you can go fast. We want you to go fast. What have we talked about the entire time? Yeah, I saw this swing and you were going to swing really fast and then all of a sudden, whoops, we forgot about our chest being on the ground. We call this posture, okay? Can you say that with me? Posture, yeah. So my posture looks like this when I address the ball, right? Because I've got to be down here, so I can't be doing this, right? I can't be back here trying to get to the ball, right? I've got to be bent over a little bit. So we feel our hips going away. We feel the sternum on the ground. And now we need to keep our sternum on the ground throughout the entirety of the swing.
Okay.
Say that again with me. We need to keep our sternum or our chest on the ground. That's what this is right here, okay? Boom. That plate right there. That's your sternum, okay? So if that stays on the ground the entire time, we are probably going to make pretty good contact, okay? Versus if our sternum comes up off the ground and starts pointing over here, we might hit a top shot then, right? Okay, good. Boom. Beautiful. Great strike. Okay? And you can tell too, look at the ball goes and disappears after you hit it, right? It doesn't go right over top of it like we have hit some of these other shots. Go ahead, do it again. Oh, look at this one. We're going to see a line that goes way to the right, and now we can define as to why it's happening. Look at where it's hitting. Look at where the club is hitting the ball. We've learned about this, right? We've talked about this. Maybe you've talked about it with your dad and you've played enough golf now to see this. Where is that? What is that part of the club called?
The face.
Yeah, it's part of the face, but it's called the toe, right? So here is the toe of the club and here is the heel. All right? So let's address a ball real quick. I'll just throw this one up here. Go ahead and put that club right behind it. If we're standing here and we're standing like that in posture where we've got our chest on the ground, everything, look at what happens. That club face that ball is right in the middle of the club face, right?
Yeah.
Look what happened. As soon as you stood straight up, the club face went from being in the center to now all of a sudden being here. And that's where you hit the ball the last time. And the reason why was because our chest came off the ground, okay? So I've got a couple of drills that I want you to do with Dad at home, okay? We take our driver. Go ahead and you can do the same thing with me with that club, okay? We're going to put it across our shoulder line like this, okay? And well, let's make sure it's right along the shoulders. Lift that up a little bit. So we're going to put it right here. There you go. And we'll cross our arms just like we did. Awesome. Excellent. Now, I've got 2 golf balls here, and I've got this at home, I'm sure. It doesn't have to necessarily be golf balls. Could be anything. You got any stuffies at home?
Yeah.
You like stuffies? Yeah. My kids like stuffies too. So we've got tons of stuffies. We use stuffies sometimes as targets. And that's what we're going to do with this. So, club goes across our shoulders, and now I'm going to point the club at one golf ball. And good. And now I'm going to go back and point the other one. Good. So if we make a swing, it looks like this, doesn't it? Go ahead and set up like you're going to hit it here. We'll put that there. Go ahead and cross your arms. Awesome. Okay, so now we get into our golf posture. Lift your head up just a little bit. Good. And so when we twist, look what happens. Woo! That end points to that golf ball, right? Look at our back. It's facing the target because we've twisted. And now when we come through, this end points to the golf ball. See how we're staying down?
Yeah.
So we're maintaining posture while we're twisting. Does that make sense? So this idea What is this drill helping us with?
Speed.
Speed a little bit, but mainly posture, right? If we are staying like this throughout the swing, we have good posture then, right? Look at sternum's on the ground the whole way, right? If we did that with the club, we do the exact same thing. Okay? Here, here. Good. Okay, good drill to do. Kind of something fun that you can do with Dad, and I'm sure it'll help him out too, okay? Why don't you come with me? We're going to go over here, and we're going to look at a video